Today we're taking all the academic theory about supervision and turning it into a real-world, practical playbook. Something you can actually use. So if you're a new leader or you're about to be one, this is for you. We're going from theory to action. Let's get right into it.
So, you did it. You got the promotion. And that is awesome. Congratulations. The excitement is real, right? But so is that little voice in your head that's going, okay, now what do I actually do? You've gone from being a star performer, a doer, to leading the doers. And that is a massive shift. It's a whole new game with a brand new set of rules.
So here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to welcome you to management and get you grounded in your new world. Then, we'll cover the 4 core functions that are going to be the engine of your daily work. We'll stock your toolkit with the skills you absolutely need, dive into the art of managing people, and finally, we'll give you a map for navigating those tough situations that you know are coming.
Okay, first things first. Before you can lead anyone anywhere, you've got to understand the system you're working in. You need to get the lay of the land.
Every single supervisor works inside what we call an organization. And really, it's pretty simple when you break it down. Think about it. Every company, from a tiny startup to a massive hospital, is built on just 3 things: a shared goal, the people trying to achieve it, and a structure that helps everyone know what their role is. Getting this simple framework is your first step.
So where do you fit into all this? Well, here's a look at the typical structure. You've got top management way up high, setting the vision. You've got middle managers running big departments. Then you've got the workers on the front lines, doing the actual work. And you're the supervisor. You are the absolutely crucial link that connects the big plans for management with the people who make it happen. You don't manage other managers, you lead the workers. This is your world.
All right, so you know where you stand in the hierarchy. Now let's talk about what you will actually do, day in and day out. Your job is basically driven by 4 core functions. Think of this as the engine of your new role. Yep, it really just comes down to 4 things. Think of these as the 4 legs of a table. They support literally everything you do as a manager. So let's break them down one by one. These are the pillars of management. Planning, that's your roadmap. Where are we going? Organizing, that's about getting your crew and your gear ready. Who does what? Leading, that's steering the ship and keeping everyone motivated. And controlling, that's like checking the compass. Are we still on track? You're going to find yourself cycling through these 4 things every single day.
So you know what you're supposed to do. Now, what skills do you need to actually do it well? Let's talk about stocking your personal supervisor toolkit. And just like the 4 functions, your success really boils down to having 4 key competencies. Mastering these is what separates a decent supervisor from a truly great one.
Okay, your toolkit needs these 4 things. Technical skills, that's your foundation. You have to understand the work your team is doing. Interpersonal skills, these are your people skills. Simple as that. Can you communicate, listen, and motivate? Conceptual skills, this is your ability to see the big picture and solve those tricky, complex problems. And finally, political skills. Now don't let the name freak you out. This is just about understanding how decisions really get made in your company and building the relationships you need to support your team. A great supervisor has a healthy balance of all 4.
Which brings us to the absolute heart of the job, the people. Leading human beings is a complex puzzle, but it is without a doubt the most important puzzle you will ever solve as a supervisor. So let's start with 2 classic leadership styles you'll see everywhere. On one side, you've got the autocratic style. Basically, I make the call, you follow the orders. Now, this can be absolutely essential in a crisis when you need a fast, decisive command. Then on the other side, you have the democratic style. This is where you involve the team, you gather their input. This is perfect for building buy-in and getting a ton of different perspectives on a problem.
And of course, it doesn't stop there. You can be participative, where you basically hand the problem over to the team to solve. Or you can be goal-oriented, where nothing matters but hitting the target. But here's the real secret, the key to it all: situational leadership. The best leaders don't have one style. They have a whole toolbox of them. And they adapt, choosing exactly the right approach for the right person in that specific moment. That's the real art of it.
Now, you can't lead anyone if you don't understand motivation. And it's not some big, abstract idea. In the workplace, motivation is simply the drive to do a good job. That's it. And your number 1 job as a supervisor is to figure out how to tap into that drive for every single person on your team.
So how do you actually do it? Well, here's your cheat sheet. First, recognize that everyone is different. What motivates one person won't motivate another. Try to match people to jobs they'll actually enjoy. Set goals that stretch them, but don't break them. Involve them in decisions that affect them.
And this one is huge. Link rewards directly to performance and then check to make sure those rewards are given out fairly. Nothing kills motivation faster than feeling like the system is unfair. All right, let's move into our final section, how to navigate the tough stuff. Because let's be honest, leadership isn't always smooth sailing. A lot of the time, you're going to be the designated problem solver.
So when a big, tough decision lands on your desk, whatever you do, don't just wing it. Use a structured process like this one. You start by identifying the real problem, you gather info, you weigh your options, and you make a choice. But, and this is important, notice where this process doesn't end. The most overlooked steps are monitoring the results and being ready to adjust. A decision is really only as good as its final outcome.
And what about conflict? Okay, let's just get this out in the open right now. Conflict is going to happen. It is a normal, natural, and totally unavoidable part of putting a bunch of smart, passionate people together. Your job isn't to prevent all conflict, because you can't. Your job is to manage it constructively when it pops up.
And to manage conflict, you first have to understand where it's coming from. This table shows you the usual suspects. Sometimes it's a simple fight over limited resources, like who gets the new computer. Other times it's clashing goals, like when marketing promises something that engineering can't possibly deliver. Or maybe it's just confusion over who's supposed to do what. Spotting the root cause here is half the battle.
Now, when conflict does arise, people tend to react in one of four ways. Some compete. They want to win at all costs. Some accommodate. They just give in to keep the peace. Others avoid it entirely, hoping it'll just go away. The goal, whenever you can, is collaboration, working together to find a solution where everybody wins. But you have to know that each of these reactions can be the right move depending on the situation and what's at stake.
So we'll leave you with this one final thought. As you step into this new supervisor role, constantly ask yourself this question. The real transition from doer to leader is complete when you realize your job isn't just about managing tasks and getting work done. It's about empowering your people to do their best work. And that right there is the difference between managing a checklist and truly leading a team.